Look what I found. Apparently this is real. I want us to do some research into it together tonight, and I want to conduct a podcast reading with Spirit to talk about this, what it means, the energy that is in store for us, and what we can expect. I feel that there are a lot of very important things that are going to be happening and taking place in 2025, and I want us to be as informed and prepared as much as possible for both the good times and the bad times I'm hearing. Oh, I'm already beginning. Oh shit, guys. Okay. Hey, it's Future Sin over here in VTuber form. I just wanted to do a little quick interjection here that the information that we have found on this little advertisement post is actually not entirely accurate, and I need to correct that and fill you all in with a little bit of information before we move forward. So as you can see, this is the image I am referencing, that there is supposedly a statement that all the planets will align, all 7 will align on this specific date and whatever, okay? We're going to fast forward that and go into showing you facts. As much facts as I can muster. I'll be sourcing about a total of 3 websites to show you what I have discovered. I'm not going to get too deep into this because my intention is not to go and research too much about astronomy, but more so just correcting this information that I've read and we're seeing everywhere, and to let you all know that there is other sources of information out there that may be technically more correct than that image, okay? So the first website here is from earthsky.org, and they're claiming to show that they're saying on January 25th, we will be able to see all 6 planets in our evening sky, and that they have always been aligned. Okay, and here's a graph chart to show you. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I do and I don't at the same time. So it says here, will there be a planetary alignment on January 25th, 2025? Well, we see the planets strung out in a line all the time, and for the entire month of January, you'll be able to see 4 bright planets and 2 dim planets in the evening sky. This is the view for mid-January for the mid-latitudes of the northern hemisphere. But what about the purported great planetary alignment on January 25th, 2025? Read on to learn what's true and what's not about the claim that's spreading on the internet. Okay, so they're stating that all planets but Mercury will be in the evening sky soon after dark, okay? And you'll be able to see all the 6 planets in the sky in one night. While the planets are in a line from our perspective, they are not in any magical line stretching out from the sun, and Mercury isn't even visible. So this is apparently what we are expected to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. I'm confused. You'll be able to see 4 bright planets and 2 dim ones if you use binoculars. The 7th planet, which is Mercury, is too close to the sun to see. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like if we view everything from the above view into our solar system. Apparently it's not lined up, and yeah, it's not lined up apparently, so I don't really know. I'm confused. So now we're gonna fly over and look at this other website by smithsonianmag.com, and here they are showing the same statement, except theirs is on February 28th. All planets align in the sky. The dates have changed. Like, I am suddenly perplexed. Why is the date different? So they go on to say, for an even more dramatic planetary event, head outside on February 28th. All 7 of the solar system's other planets will appear in Earth's skies in a rare alignment. Here, let me go to another website now. From cnet.com, which is, I believe, a news website. Here's when you can plan to see 6 or 7 planets in a planet parade. And it goes to showing these images. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why they circled all 5 and then didn't circle the other ones. I'm so 6, 7, 8. I'm confused. Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus will be in the southeastern sky, while Neptune, Venus, and Saturn will occupy the southwestern sky at approximately 9:30 p.m. local time. Here, this is where it's interesting. They said there will be 6 planets visible this time around, including Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. The 6 planets will be visible in the days leading up to January 21st, 2025, and for 4 weeks afterwards. So now that's like we got 25th of January. Now we have 21st of January, leading up to 4 weeks after. And then the other website shows 28th of January. You know what I mean? I'm like confused here. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there, let you guys know how like confusing that was. And I am really sorry for the misunderstanding. I am not an informed astronomer or any sort of professional in that field. I am simply just speculating and navigating these energies and the currents at the time for the new year 2025. We will figure out in due time as I do more research slowly about what exactly this planetary alignment means. And apparently the planets are always aligned. So I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I have to do more research onto it. But regardless, let us get back into the actual reading and forecast that Podcast with Spirit has to say, okay? I'll see you in my real life form. Bye! To 2025. To 2025. Maybe I could go like this and you see it. Hold on, let me turn this off. Yeah, you can see it now. I'm going to make a prayer now. I'm going to get into a state of meditation. I'm already getting insight. Oh my God, that's deep. Okay. Okay. First of all, before I go ahead and go anywhere, the 7 planets that are aligning in the solar system are directly correlated to the 7 chakras that we are aligned with as well. And almost as coincidentally, the solar system that is lining itself up in 2025, which is the numerology of number 9, the moment before a completion. So it's the silver lining before a climax. That is us, our chakras. We are becoming in tune and aligned with who we are individually, ourselves, and our relationships towards ourselves. And if it hasn't, that is definitely the intention this year, 2025, that we are wanting to line our ducks up in a row, and we want to get first and foremost in tune with who we are. We as humans, in our earthly life, are so used to being like, I've lived and seen so many things, there's nothing left to experience in the human reality, in our egoic perceptions of what it means to be living and alive. But universe and spirit is saying to me that there are always so many things happening all the time in our universe and on earth that is happening for the first time ever. But we wouldn't know because we've never seen it before. So to us, we assume either that it already has been around for a long time and it's probably not the first time it's been. But we don't know. When something is new to us, how do we know if it's been here before? We have witnessed so many new moments and experiences on our earthly realm that we take for granted and see as normal. And we assume that everyone else around us has also probably known about this or experienced this already. So we keep that to ourselves. And the craziest thing is, none of us experience the same thing, the same one thing, the same way. We're all experiencing things differently, no matter what. This music we're listening to right now together, I'm interpreting it and I'm experiencing it a certain way, and I'm hoping to get that feeling to you guys too. But I'm very, very confident and certain that you guys are not having the exact same experience as I am with this song and with this artist. You're having your own relationship with this song. You're having your own feelings and your perceptions and impressions about this song. We are all simultaneously experiencing our own version of something that's considered new, and we think it's old. No, it's new. There's so many new things all the time, but we overlook it as mundane. That is so crazy. And I can't even begin to find more examples of it. Okay. I will find more. Oops, sorry. I meant to say that This lighter is actually done. Like the last time it lit was for the candle. When I said, here's the 2025, it's done. That was its last breath. Okay, this one's stuck in. I'm hearing there is a reason why astrology are assigned to planets and why each planet represents a different personality spectrum within us. Ooh, that's deep. And although I am no astrologer, and I'm only like just starting to skim the surface of astrology, I'm hearing that there is complete direct correlation, of course, I hear of course, with our chakras and each planet, in which aspect each planet represents within the different spectrums within us, and why the importance of astrology comes into play. And now that all these planetary systems are lined up in such a way, it's the first time in 389 billion years that human collective consciousness will now be aligned on the same exact frequency. Because you see, normally where you were born and when you're born, the placements of the planetary system and where the stars are, where the stars, which are the planets, where the sun, where the moon, and where other planets in our system are in position in the constellation when we are born, dictates to us the type of personality chart we have individually. But because now everything is aligned all at once, so here I'm trying to explain it because I'm seeing it in my mind's eye. Let's just say things are not aligned yet, right? As it is right now, it's not entirely aligned. It's wherever it is in the sky, in the solar system, okay? And each day in the placement of where it's placed, sun, moon, and all the rest of the planetary alignment, it affects us each individually in a different way. We have a different relationship with each day because of how our signs are affected by where the positions are, how it like counteracts us. Think of like Pokemon, where like the different elements interacts with different elements differently, and there's a different dynamic. And so whenever the stars and the planets are in the sky a certain way in a certain day, my sign and my like planetary system of when I was born reflects off of that constellation in a different way, and I get a different result. I react and I respond differently to the dynamics presented to me. Does that make sense? It's almost as if, depending where the planets are in the constellation in the solar system, it's like playing little like marionette puppet strings to bring certain events and emotions or perspectives and thoughts and realities into the forefront of our existence on Earth, because we're on Earth. So I'm talking about everything in correlation to Earth. Just so you know, if you're curious, it happens on other planets as well, and other realms of reality as well. That's crazy. Guys, I'm losing it. Let me keep going. I'm not questioning this. I'm trusting my guides. I'm trusting my spirit, okay? This is some wild ass podcast we're having here. We're leading edge conversation here, guys. I promise you, I know nothing about this. I'm completely channeling and trusting the thoughts coming into my head, and we're gonna go and compare notes like later on once I go edit this video. So this puppeteering of the constellations based off a certain day in mind, it triggers certain things. So let's just pretend I pull this string and it triggers like rain to happen. One person on Earth, very simply put, one person on Earth will be totally ecstatic that it's raining because they love rain. Another person will react completely in such a volatile way and completely hate rain because it triggers them. They don't like rain. But that's only one instance. That was just one string pulled, and you already got two different responses. But on a human level, on Earth, collectively, we have spectrums of emotions, right? Based off of one thing. So imagine pulling many different strings of many different aspects. That's what these planets in our solar system are doing energetically in different spectrums all the time. It's like weaving the fabric of our reality. And we have different responses and opinions and thoughts and feelings and reactions toward every little nuanced thing. And that's what creates our reality. And we either are creating that outright subconsciously, like we're not really self-aware, we're just reacting rather than intentionally living. And other people are observing that, or vice versa. I'm observing other people respond and live a certain way, and it creates this reality of what's around me, the collective consciousness. So now that we have everything lined up together, everyone is simultaneously experiencing the same reality. They might have their own reactions to it, but it's still the exact same reality for that entire day. It's not leaning more towards one way that is more comfortable for the spectrum of like strings and different varying degrees that would be more like one way for one collective and not another. Everyone is universally brought in line with this one day. And I'm hearing like, why? But then I'm also hearing everything. It brings me back to this law. I don't remember the term. I'm going to find it later again. But it's like the law of order or the law of chaos. It's like, example, you drop a marble, it bounces off the floor, and you think it's just randomly choosing to hit this part of the floor, and then it's going to bounce over there. And each one you drop is going to generally, you think it might be random, but it's generally within like maybe like one of 5 or 10 variations of how it would drop, in which degrees and angles it would drop, and how heavy it would drop, and how far it would bounce afterwards. If you do that collectively enough and you record each one, you will start seeing a rhythm and a pattern in this seemingly sporadic chaos. Does that make sense? And that's what they want us to talk about today. The seemingly chaotic world, in our egoic perception, we think things are melting. We think the world is collapsing. But what they want us to know is that the earth is doing exactly what it's always done. And humanity is responding and reacting in the way it's always been. It's just following in that same chaotic pattern. So now what is the purpose of telling us that, Spirit? They said this is where cards come in now. Okay. Look how beautiful the back of these cards are. Wow. I did not expect to be that I was going to channel that. I was not expecting. Something is changing. Something is changing in me. I don't know, I'm singing like that. I live in a musical world, guys. Just like how, it's not in the cards, but I'm hearing it. Just like how forest fires and volcanoes may burn the ground it touches, and it seems to create and spread death wherever it goes. Sometimes changes that may seem like the ending of something or the death of a former way of being or a former identity you associate with is necessary for it to pave a foundation for new growth to emerge from what was once before it. So the lava and the fire that seems to wipe out everything in sight and everything seems dead, actually is returning the minerals back to the ground, into the soil, into the land, which actually refreshes the whole land and allows for regrowth and new growth. And now I'm seeing the imagery of like a phoenix. Some things do need to come to an end, and there are some things that we must embrace and allow and know it should come to an end in order for ourselves to allow for not only new beginnings, but for the truth, the most current, up-to-date, relevant truth within our very soul to be coming out and blossoming and having the chance to shine. Because there's a lot of outdated beliefs and stigmas and perspectives. I'm seeing you guys that have been holding onto this for all your life. And it's like bundled you in like a layer of onions. And the outer layers are the long held beliefs that you think serves you. But as you're holding onto it, it's actually preventing you from budding. You're actually not an onion. You are a rosebud, closed up tightly. Eventually, you're going to have to let go so you can unravel and blossom into the true fullest form of who you're meant to be. But if you continue holding on tightly your beliefs and your perspective and your reality and your fears, you will never let yourself blossom, and you'll never let yourself unfold into the miraculous, beautiful potential you are meant to be this lifetime. Instead, you'll stifle yourself, and then you would just, you know what I mean? Don't be the one to be stifling your own dreams. Okay. So the first card is Ace of Swords. Second card is Eight of Cups. Third card is Page of Pentacles. And the fourth card is Page of Wands. In 2025, because everything is so aligned and clear for us to see, we are all exactly sharing the same reality. There will be two paths that split off into two separate states of consciousness in 2025. And because it's held in the beginning of the month and almost the end of the month, January 25th, it's the first month of the year, and it's going to set the tone for the rest of the year. When tides come flowing in, we either resist it, try to swim against it, or we use and we learn to cultivate that storm and we ride it like a surfer. And depending on which path you choose to take, you'll be led by two different types of leaders. And these leaders may not be as literal as human authorities, but rather these two leaders are actually, they show up in my mind's eye as the symbols of two different gateways. And these two different gateways are leading into two different parallel realities. One will be led by fear and cynicism. The other one will be led by inspiration and love. That's very deep. People in your life will make their choice. It is like a silent vote that people are casting their ballots for into this universal rally or something. And when the time comes, do not be surprised that some people might fall out from your life because they are choosing to hold on to fear, guilt, self-preservation, carefulness, unwillingness to take chances, to try new things, to expand beyond their current perception of reality. And then those of us who are choosing love will see that. And those of us who choose fear will see, people who are choosing fear will see those who choose love and boldness as being like the fool in the tarot. Like they're taking risky choices and they're completely stupid. And those who are choosing love and inspiration will see those who are choosing fear and guilt and shame as stagnant, paranoid, neurotic. That's how you're going to identify each other. That's how you guys will be able to identify who has voted for which side and which gate you will be going through. So now why is Spirit telling me about this gate? Why are you guys telling me about this gate? These two gateways? What is the purpose of knowing this and what will it serve? Because the universe and reality I don't know who's in charge of this, by the way. I'm just hearing it. Universal law is in charge of it. Because the state of reality all across human collective consciousness needs to be reset. The state of lack and the inability to receive, the feeling of not deserving enough or not being able to receive enough and needing to suffer and to fight and struggle in order to be deserving of this world, that is a former collective consciousness that is going to be fading away and no longer relevant in our human collective consciousness reality. It was never the truth to begin with. It was a fabricated human conception. I didn't say it. Spirit said it. It's a fabricated human conception that needs to go. Because why? It is no longer serving humanity as a whole. It's destroying us. It's segregating us. It's tearing us apart. It's eating us alive. We're losing morale. We're depressed. We're anxious. We're distrusting. We lack empathy. We're separated from ourselves. We feel alone. We wonder why we have no passion and drive or interest for anything. Because this outdated belief needs to go, and humanity's mind needs to be reset into the true reality of what it is. We live in an abundant earth. We have boundless supplies, materials, sustenance. We have so much. Scarcity is human made. It's human cultivated. It's a concept and a mannerism and a rule that has been reinforced for so many generations, that has become a part of our DNA and personality traits of what we think is how life should be. And that is the part in human history that needs to be reset and will be reset, and it will be deleted and eradicated. And those who choose to hold on to fear, shame, and guilt will be grasping at nothing. Two of Swords. Those of you who hold on to fear, shame, and guilt, and thinking that life has to be a struggle in order to gain and deserve what it is you earn for, you'll be surrounded in so much abundance, you won't even know what to do with yourself. She's in so much abundance. There's clear and fresh water for her. She's warm. She's safe. She doesn't even know how to handle it. She's technically kind of going a little crazy. She doesn't see how much she has around her. She's pushing it away. Same this one. This one went into the water to purposely go fight with a snake. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's in the mind. It's in the mind. Okay, so let's hear about what happens when and for those who choose love and inspiration. What happens? Look at that. Look at the two differences. Look at this. We got Ace of Cups and Six of Wands. The difference between if you choose fear, guilt, and shame, this is you. The collective consciousness. Those who choose love and inspiration. Look at the two women who are grabbing water. One is grabbing water with so much stress. The other one's grabbing water, fully accepting it and embracing in the joys of how amazing it is. You don't even see the face of the Ace of Cups, and you know Ace of Cups is is enjoying every moment of it. Two of Swords is like, doesn't even know what to do with all that water. Yeah, so instead of those who stay in a place of fear, guilt, and shame will be in a place of victimhood and always finding themselves needing to fight for something to feel like they deserved it. But those who are coming from a place of empowerment and self-love and inspiration, instead of fighting it, they will tame it and they'll make it work for them. They know what it is that they are mastering. They're not becoming a slave to it. They're making it their servant. Okay, so Spirit, this sounds very abstract. This is very abstract. Where can we go from here? What do you guys, what else do you want us to know about this? No, they're done with this subject at hand. Okay. They want us to continue moving on. Okay. So they want me now to not use this deck anymore. They want me to move into an Angelarium. Look at the back of these cards. Cool, right? Oh, card flew up. Angel of Vengeance came out. I'm going to pull one more card. Oh, they want me to pull 3. Angel of Annihilation. Okay, I guess I was subconsciously hoping for a more softer energy to coming through, but so far the 2 cards are coming through. 2025 is no joke, guys. I'm hearing you better be ready. And I'm not trying to add stress to you guys or make you guys feel anxious, but like 2025, I'm hearing you're gonna get real with yourself. You better check yourself or you'll wreck yourself. Literally. Okay. I wonder, what number numerology does the Judgment card represent? Let me find out. It's the 20th card. In numerology, Judgment has the base number of 2. This is the number of balance, diplomacy, cooperation, union, peace, and fairness. Do not confuse judgment and justice. Justice is the legal or philosophical theory by which fairness is administered. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because I saw judgment. Anyways, why did my guides do that to me? Let's go back to... Okay, okay. Angel of Death. Guys, I'm done. Right. There is death because there's a reset. And there is judgment because there is justice coming. All in universal timing and in universal law. What is going to be annihilated will be people's egos. Can you imagine you've been living in one perception of reality for so long, your entire life, and then you find out when human construct melts away and is reset, and you're forced to see the true reality of things. How painful and heartbreaking must it be to know all along you did not need to suffer as much as you did. Things didn't have to be the way that it was. People can break out of their dreams and see things for what it truly is. That will be a complete obliteration. I can't even speak. Obliteration. Like a complete dissolving of human ego construct. Some people might snap from that. Some people might not be able to handle that. The fact that, can you imagine seeing and believing in something for so many years and thinking that was the reality, and then suddenly to realize that you were wrong. You were wrong. You didn't have to suffer that hard. You didn't have to cower in fear as much as you did. You never had to be in that much pain and anxiety because it was created that way. So it was a domino effect, causation of that way, that you could choose differently. Many people will become empowered during this time to realize they can choose differently. You can choose differently. Always. Especially if you're able to have connection to the internet, you have already gained like 90% advantage, I hear, to those who may not have access to the internet. Why? Because you have access to an infinite, unlimited resource that can teach you knowledge and show you places and bring you to people where you need to be in order to unlock your current circumstance so you could move forward into the ideal landscape that you wish to be in instead. And this is not financially speaking, although that has part to do with it, because as above, so below. It has more so to do with your mind shift and utilizing what you already have. Hence, going back to that card with that woman who was straddling that rocket, she knew how to tame it and make it work to her advantage so that she would not become the victim or the servant of that fear, but rather she's making that fear become her servant. She, the master of her fear, and she utilizes that fear to drive her into places and moments of inspiration and love. Do you see what I'm saying now? It is a vengeance. Angel of vengeance is talking about a vengeance that has been due. A universal vengeance that has been due. The vengeance, you see, the word vengeance and like the definition of vengeance is very much a human concept. It's a human word. And so to say, oh, divine revenge is still too limiting. Imagine someone took something that belonged to you, that was yours, and they have been using it in a way that's not supposed to be used. And they're enjoying the fact that they're doing this and that they're seemingly facing no consequences of their actions. But the situation is the person who did that was a child and you are the adult, so you're fully aware of where things will lead. And this is exactly what's going on with how at some point in human history, some child, we're not talking about biological age here, okay? We're talking about soul. A child on earth created a rule or set an example in a very tyrannical way, I hear, where it created a momentum that things were set in that order. And it spread across the collective consciousness. And many other young children saw that and took after it. These are the bullies of the playground in the school of life. That's what I'm hearing. Holy shit, guys. This is big. The bullies of the playgrounds of school of life. And the supervisor teacher and the principal has been watching this playground the whole time. They are just simply waiting for recess to be over to address and bring that child into the office to have a talk. However many years our collective consciousness have been like this on earth, that has been recess in the bigger grand picture of the universe. And recess time is finally coming to an end in 2025. And so these children who are bullying our playground in the school of life are now being called into question and being brought in to the office, the principal's office, to be judged to be analyzed and serve the justice that they deserve. And the justice everyone else that was victimized and everyone else who was pulled into this also deserve. Wow. I know it's so simple sounding, but it sounds so deep at the same time. Okay, let's read Simikil, Angel of Vengeance. When the time comes, we all call its name. It is ever the instinct in our throat when we seek retribution. We choke on it even as we languish in every syllable. But those who call on Simikil without cause will have harm fall back upon them threefold. It is the way of Simikil's sword, cutting in both directions. While we will gird our fragile hearts against being hurt, pain will make its attempts on us by any means necessary. It is in our soul to survive at all costs, even if it means violence. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. Simikil knows not forgiveness. Signs: a sword, a thorny branch, pierced skin. Let's go look at Hasmid, Angel of Annihilation. The Unmaker, a terrible sight to behold. The void eating itself and making itself anew. You know what? The other day I was thinking about how the energy very much reminds me of the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself. And I was like, it's almost like we're imploding, but we're repeating the same cycle over and over again, and I literally saw the snake eating itself. There must be a significance here to this symbolism. That which should no longer exist is unmade by Hasmid's hands. So Hasmid has come to annihilate our current conception of humanity, our reality. There is something that needs to be removed. Look upon that which should not be. Look upon that which should not be, and loose it from existence. A sign, signs, a hood, an eclipse, an empty field. Bro, this is no coincidence. I'll channel these messages and just exactly talk about that. Okay, Ezreal, Angel of Death. The guardian that stands beside the gateway between Angelarium and the rest of existence. Gabriel's lantern points into the seething darkness. Its light breaks open the unknown and banishes doubt. There is certainty in this light. It fills you. This angel issues no command. It doesn't need to. Shine, little light, shine. Oh, I'm reading Gabriel. Gabriel wanted to show up, so I'm going to keep reading this. The impetus for action burns in you. In fact, you burn in it, fueling this light. Suddenly you burst forth, blazing the way, piercing the dark, leaving change in your wake. There is light everywhere you tread. You are the light of Gabriel's lantern. The might of this angel does not command you. It aims you. A lantern, a mirror, a discovery. So I feel like a lot of us are going to be like that. Okay, let's read Angel of Death. The assistant to man's creation and the architect of the human body, Ezreal stands alone on the shores of mortality, helping remove the souls from the bodies of dying men like precious seeds from the rotting core of an apple. The grim harvest is not to be feared, but demands respect as few other things in time and space. From under the shroud of purpose come the hands of Ezreal. O death, come to lay your hands upon me. O death, Unfurl your fingers from my destiny, O death. Do not search here or there. It will reveal itself in time. It will breach the surface for a moment. It will take you and pull you under. You will know, and the knowledge will fill you, even as it consumes your soul. Signs: an apple, the ocean, a skull. That was very deep. We're going to go to visionary I Ching cards now. We're going to pull one card, and I'm going to talk about one card, okay? That this card is going to be the energy of 2025 for us to be paying attention to. Look at the back of this deck. Isn't that gorgeous? I wonder if it's like this, you know? Maybe there is no order or direction. It does make me think of it's making me think of the mountains now. It's like a coiling snake. Valleys. It's hills and valleys. Different energies are stepping in now. I'm being called right now, before I pull anything out, to mention that in our collective on humanity, and anybody who is tuning into this podcast, whether it be the moment it is released, where you guys are here right now with me, or later, even a year or many years down the line, this is a call for you to be asking yourself to be reminded of the most sad time of your life. And the reason for doing this is to recall this deep pain that is hidden within your heart, and to fully give it a chance to surface so you can heal and release and let it go. Because this main pain that you're holding on is the very pain that is holding you back from moving forward to progress and evolve and unfold and open and blossom as you should, as a person you should, within 2025. Okay? And if not 2025, whenever you listen to this, it's holding you back. If you're wondering what blockages you may be having, why you can't progress in something, there's something there. You have a hidden pain somewhere deep inside you that needs to be addressed. And when you can do shadow work on it and heal it, it will become unblocked, okay? What messages would you like for us to explore? What messages do you have for us? Oh, how beautiful. After all that heavy talk, look what we got. This flew out. Harmony, earth above, sky below. As above, so below. As within, so without. Things are coming to a really near close completion. The crescendo. It is the crescendo. 11. I will now pull out the cards. I'm in the book and read. I feel relieved, actually, hearing about that. It feels really soothing in my soul. It feels like, if I were to translate the energy right now, it feels like everything will work out. I am safe. It will all be okay. All will be forgiven. This too shall pass. The pain will pass. There will be a time again where I will be happy again. I will feel clear about things again. I am at peace. I feel serenity. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's the emotions I'm feeling. Okay, let's go to page 11. Not page 11. Hey, Teaching 11. Earth seems to be above heaven, and heaven is on earth. The gravity of a matter merges with the upward radiation of light to create a condition of deep harmony. Yeah, this juxtaposition denotes a time of peace and blessings for all living things. Oh my God, that's true. That's exactly what I channeled. That was the energy. That was the energy I was feeling. Oh, a time of peace and blessings for all living things. In the affairs of humanity, tranquility comes when the good, strong, and powerful show favor to the lowly, and those of more modest means are well disposed towards those who are currently blessed. There is an end to all feuds. In such a state, the energy is high, the way is clear, and the prospects for great success are outstanding. A deep chaos abides in nature, but humanity, by carefully responding to the rhythms and cycles of the times, can find peace in the natural world. By planting the right crop in the right place in the right season, the mindfulness of the farmer brings harmony to the natural world of plants, and in return, prosperity to his family. Similarly, business needs to adjust to the natural cycles of different seasons. Only through flexibility and constant adjusting can order and growth both be maintained. This peace produces a time of flowering and prosperity. Oh my God, I was literally telling you guys about flowering and blooming. This peace produces a time of flowering and prosperity. The wise person channels this positive energy to all areas of life and in proper proportion, just as a farmer waters his or her fields and orchards. But be vigilant and discriminating. Powerful conditions promote the growth of weeds as well as flowers. So now we're going to go and look at the hexagram. You see the hexagram right here? This corner right here? The 6 lines, the last 3 rows, because we start from the bottom. Okay, bottom is bottom is because they're number 1. The last 3 rows are broken lines. Okay, the first 3 rows are solid lines. So we're gonna start from line 1, which is at the very bottom, which is this one right here. The message for line 1 says, in times of peace and prosperity, an individual of high purpose is able to draw like-minded people to a good cause. As such people become available, enlist their support. Now is the time for people of talent to set out to accomplish something. Oh my God, this is so crazy. This is the energy. This is the video I was showing you guys earlier too, of putting yourselves first. Line 2. The great danger in a time of peace is a weakening of resolve at the center of things. The true leader uses such periods to tend to all necessary tasks, pleasant and unpleasant, safe and unsafe, so that nothing is neglected. The master of events, like any great artist, finds a use for everything and gives everyone a role to play. Be watchful for the rise of factions or cliques. They are often the first sign of approaching decay. Ooh, so this is to be discerning with who you allow to enter your life. And just because things seem to be peaceful right now, don't assume that everyone that's entering your life and is peaceful currently right now may not be like sprouting a red flag later on. Okay? You have to constantly tend to your garden to make sure that these people that you're cultivating, you're allowing in your life is constantly growing in the direction that is adding to your garden, not ruining it. Line 3. Change is the great constant of the universe. What goes up must come down. I literally said that earlier today. Pendulum was going to swing hard around. I'm like, oh yeah, what goes up must come down. What must come down must go up. Let's say it here. Just as the ripest, sweetest fruit hangs by a thread, so periods of prosperity can fall from their own weight.
Death and decay are always a part of life. They can be held at bay temporarily, but never altogether banished. Let this knowledge flicker like an eternal flame inside you. Only by being realistic about the world can you escape the illusion that good fortune can last forever. Prepare properly for the changes wrought by your destiny, and try to remember that fortune never completely abandons one whose inner riches remain superior to the workings of one's fate. I'm reading the last sentence. That sounds like it's really important. Prepare properly for the changes wrought by your destiny, and try to remember that fortune never completely abandons one whose inner riches remain superior to the working of one's fate. Yeah, so don't just focus on allowing yourself to pursue material abundance. You need to also acknowledge the importance of intrinsic value and wisdom and life experiences and skills and abilities that are cultivated within yourself. That is what will continue to bring you abundance in times of hardship. Line 4. So now this is the broken line. This is the beginning of the broken line now, okay? This is where change is happening. When general confidence is high, the large and the small influences mingle pleasantly. It furthers the strong to meet with the weak or the wealthy with the poor. For the lowly possess a kind of truth that penetrates the artifices created by excessive advantage. Mutual benefit is the key. Spontaneous contact based on the truth of inner feelings never fails. Yeah, it really is like things falling into balance. It's like, you know, when you pour water onto like a surface, it's gonna level itself out, right? Because physics and the nature of water, right? So how is that relevant to here? Imagine like material riches or resources becoming spread out, it's poured on the earth, and like it's leveled for everyone. I'm feeling that's going to happen, not as a forceful, systematic way, but people who are in positions to be able to share will, and everyone becomes taken care of. That's beautiful. I look forward to seeing how this happens. Line 5. A woman of status marries a man of lesser rank, but the two honor each other as equals. In a union of the high and low, modesty on the part of those of higher ranks brings sublime success. Must be talking about like not being blinded by like being grounded, staying grounded with what you have and where you are. I keep thinking about the message of like this too shall pass. Like, if I remember correctly from a reader, they told me this story of like Solomon, how he asked for this person to create a ring that has a saying in it that he can look at every single time. So when he looked at the ring, when he was feeling sad, he'll look at the ring, it'll make him happy. And that when he's happy, he'll look at the ring, it'll make him sad. Right? He wanted something like that. And so the person who made the ring came up with the saying, this too shall pass. And the reason why King Solomon wanted that is because he always wanted to be balanced and grounded. That when things are hard and he's feeling really sad and down, looking at that ring to be reminded that this too shall pass will be very uplifting and something to look forward to and cheer you up a bit. Something to feel motivated by. And when you're happy, you're so blessed and you're so thankful for all you have, you look at the ring, it will remind you and it will make you sad because this too shall also pass. But it will make your happiness and your blessings in this moment all that much sweeter. I feel it. Gratitude is a very strong energy to call for us in 2025, and for us to be thankful for all that we have and those that we have in our lives. And not to forget that we have one another always. And not to take one another for granted. But most importantly, do not take yourself for granted. Because there are many of us here that are. Myself included. Whoa, this is a heavy message. Hold on, let me cry it. Let me cry it out. I have to get these feelings at me before I can continue. Yeah, 2025 is a time where many of you who don't feel seen and put others first, or other things first, or other scenarios and other priorities first, you will begin doing this for yourself for the first time in what seems to be a very long time. And that is going to be a very beautiful beginning of many, many things. Many new things are going to be birthed into reality this year because many people who have been wanting to and have been holding their breath to speak up and to voice out their visions and express their opinions and to bring the creations forth will do so this year. And because of that, there will be a revolution. I hear a revolution. And like, I'm seeing something spin like this. It's revolution, revolution. It's going to be remixed, flipped upside down. Whatever's in trend now is going to be out of trend. It's going to be out of trend. And whatever that you didn't think would be in trend will become in trend. White's going to be black. Black's going to be white. Like that. It's going to be like upside down day. But like instead, it's like upside down decade or century. That's what I'm hearing. It's flipping now. So what was I reading again? Let's see. I think I was at the 5th line. I don't remember. I was in a state of channeling. I was mixing it all up. Okay. Line 6, which is the last one at the very top. Okay. It's also a broken line. Very top of this hexagram. Okay. When prosperity leads to decay, misfortune follows. Imagine an ancient city's wall collapsing into its moat, offering access instead of protection. In times of collapse, it helps no one to fight against overwhelming odds. Moral strength is called for instead of resistance. Likewise, in times of peace, necessary defense can erode. The fortress can still become vulnerable to attack. Try not to be like the citizens who, having become lazy and indifferent, put their homes at risk. Be prepared for external problems. Do not allow yourself to become complacent. So I do feel like I have to think about that last message, that last line a bit. It is a warning. It is a warning. I feel like I need to be pulling something. Okay, they want me to go back to Superior Tarot. Okay, we're going to go back to this and we're going to find out, I'm going to ask Spirit what they meant by that. What do they mean by prepare? So please tell me, Spirit, what did you mean by prepare? Like what? Like, tell us a little bit about that. It's really weird. I shuffled the cards so much and the same cards came out again. Okay, this was a different one. But the first 2 cards were the exact same cards. The last card, however, is 6 of Pentacles. So I'm gonna like reflect on this. Prepare. How can they prepare? How can we prepare if we don't know what we're preparing for? Prepare for the two roads ahead that were mentioned earlier on in the message. The two paths that everyone will cosmically put their vote in for. Prepare for when the path will split, and those who are in your life may or may not be in the same realm of reality of you as you, moving forward. And prepare your heart so that you do not become swayed by them and change your vote too. And when I'm saying this, I'm asking myself, and I'm asking Spirit, are you saying that one path is better than the other for the collective consciousness? The clear answer is yes. If you choose the path of fear, guilt, and shame, you will be led to one parallel reality that will not serve you. And it will not serve humanity, because that is the path of illusion. Oh. The other path is the path of truth. So prepare your heart as to not be swayed or dissuaded, persuaded by those who are choosing the path of fear. Because if you do that, you will regress human collective consciousness. I promise you. That is not what we want. I've never seen this card before. I am quite intrigued. Look at this Page of Cups. Look at this stone man. Is he on the moon? Now that I'm thinking about it. Is he an astronaut? Is he an alien? What is he? What is going on there? Tell me what that card is. Verify, please, Spirit. Okay, they want me to wrap up soon. Because we're not meant to be exploring everything that 2025 has to offer us in the details and down to the finest nuance. We are meant to understand as things unfold, because ultimately you are the creator. This podcast with Spirit was not meant to dictate, give you instructions, or a strong sense of direction of where you need to go next, because ultimately that is left for you to decide in 2025 as you cast your vote in the cosmic universe, and you make your choice. You get to dictate, you get to pave the path, which direction you wish to bring, and what sort of reality and creativity and what sort of visions you have for this physical plane that you wish to bring into existence. Yeah, it's not a predictive reading. It's more like a forecast. It's not a predictive reading. It's not a reading where we're giving you instructions. It is a reading where we're letting you know what's happening. And you could prepare by creating your own formulations and your own perception of how you want to express your truth, the truth. Speaking to those of you who are choosing the path of love and inspired action. Okay? Because as long as those of you who are choosing the path of love and inspired action, you will always be walking on the path of truth and universal order and universal law and universal truth. Your soul is aligned to that, and you know you're already tuned into it. All you have to do is just live. Live out your truth, because your truth is also in line with the universal truth. And as long as you do that, The answer will unfold as you come to discover and allow yourself to blossom. You will discover what it is you have to do as you discover your true self. Yeah, because when I asked for clarification, the card that came out is the Hermit. And I wasn't really looking at it when I was channeling, and I just looked at it now, and that's exactly what the message is. So we're gonna wrap up this channeled message with the You Have Permissions deck, okay? So I'm gonna shuffle and see what cards would come out. What would you like for us to know for permissions deck? What would you like for us to know? Oh, that flew out. Okay, let's go with that. I'm allowed to let people love me. That is so beautiful. Yeah, that's true, because all the abundance that's going to be coming in is going to be coming from a place of love. And those of us who choose fear and guilt and shame will have a hard time receiving love in different ways. Okay, anything else? One last card I hear. They're deciding. They're deciding. This one flew out from my thumb. It was at the very end of the deck. I am allowed to rest. Okay, I'm allowed to rest. And I'm allowed to let people love me. Okay? These are the affirmations for 2025. Oh. Affirmations for 2025, okay? And anytime anybody who stumbles upon this podcast, this is your affirmation. Okay, that is all that my spirit guides have to say for this podcast and of 2025, and in regard of what it means to have the planetary systems online. That was fucking mind-blowing and a half. Let me say thank you to my spirit council for being here and having such a wonderful podcast. I was very deeply moved and gained a lot of insight from this, and may the collective and those who are meant for this message find this reading when it is distributed, wherever it will be distributed. Would it be? Yeah, that was the reading. What did you guys think? Oh, that was intense, honestly. I think they were being nice. I think there's gonna be some pretty intense stuff. There's gonna be a calm before the storm, and there's also going to be like intensity before the storm, and then a storm's going to happen. Then after the storm, there's going to be calm after the storm. So I'm feeling, and they're being nice, and they're not telling us too much about much. They're just giving us kind of like a life float, a lifesaver, and like giving us some tools in our belt so we can ride the current. Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts.